Well, Stars fans, you can't win them all. You just can't. There's 82 games. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I know we've been used to winning. It was a 4-game win streak. It was a bajillion game point streak. It finally comes to an end. The road point streak, all of the things. It all comes to an end at some point. Luckily, it's December 12th when we're recording this. It's okay to lose a game in December. It's not the end of the world. I know it's Minnesota. I know we want to beat them, but it's okay. Can't win them all. Welcome to Clean Sheet of Ice, a Texas hockey podcast brought to you by Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang over here, Zang responsibly all season long with the Michelada mix, the Margarita mix, the Blazing Bloody Mary mix, and the Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang, Zang responsibly all season long. I'm your host, Stone Strankman, joined always on a Friday by Savannah Mueller. How are we?
We're good. Just like you said, the Stars can't win them all. And that was the second loss in regulation on the road this season. So that was the best stat as far as what the team was doing on the road. And it's okay. We lost. It's fine. And you just move on from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world, guys. They've been playing a lot of hockey recently, a lot of hockey since Thanksgiving. It's okay. It's going to be all right. So, hand up. I didn't watch this entire full game. I listened to it a little bit in the car, had to go to the airport, pick my wife up. It's okay. I didn't watch the full thing, but I saw the Robo goal at the very beginning of the first period. You're on the power play, or it's halfway through the first period. Sorry. Saw that. Great power play. It was just kind of, they had control most of the time. I think they only cleared the puck once, and then he sends it over to Robo. It's a lucky tip. It goes off the stick of a Minnesota player, and it goes in the net, but you take those. It's a power play. It was set up well. It's not really lucky if you create your own luck. I've always said that, especially last season in the playoffs when we were playing in Colorado and all the weird bicycle goals were going in. I was like, you do create your own luck. So Robo created his own luck. 20th goal of the season. I think he's third in the NHL in goals so far. Miro gets his 22nd assist, and Wyatt gets his 21st assist of the season. Pretty good, if you ask me.
Yeah, not too bad. As you said, yes, Jason Robertson, 20 goals, 20 assists. He's at 40 points right now. He is second on the team in points. Mikko Rantanen is number 1 with 42. Just the guy that can score on the power play. That is why he's on the power play. And it just won't stop there. Jason Robertson is the power play guy this year, if you ask me. But he's just been outstanding as far as being able to produce goals for the Stars. And when they're on the power play and you have the guys that you have on that PP1, and including Miro Heiskanen, who has been phenomenal on the power play as well, the Stars are going to score. It's just going to happen. And they were able to execute last night. Jason Robertson was able to execute. And unfortunately, the Wild were able to catch up.
Yeah, I think from the start. So that goal came at 9:32 into the first period. That first 9 minutes of the game, I was like, oh, this isn't good. This looks like a team that's really tired. Cue the Robo taking a nap on the ice after scoring a goal meme. Like, just put that up. That's what the Stars looked like last night to start the game and pretty much throughout the game. And the Wild looked like a team that had taken their afternoon nap and had been rested for a full week. They haven't been. They've been on a long road trip. I think this was their first game back in their home building. There's a little bit of juice. There's a little bit of pep in their legs. It is what it is. But you get that first goal, you feel pretty good. Miro Heiskanen is officially just done the opposite of what he did last season before he got hurt on the power play. And that's what stands out to me. It's like he'll take the shot if they just keep passing back and forth to him. At the point, he's like, you know what? Stop doing this. I'll just sling it at the net. But most of the time he doesn't have to do that because he can send it over to Mikko or Robo, and then it's a tic-tac-toe to Wyatt or Rope, whoever's in the slot right there. And they usually score a goal. So I'm just appreciative to see Miro's back and scoring points. He's nearly a point per game player. And with 7 goals, which we'll get to in a second, and 22 assists. He's just off a point per game.
No, it's crazy. Miro Heiskanen just holds down the fort for the Stars. And it was interesting, too, because at the start of the season, I was watching him specifically because he had obviously come back from injury. He was thrown into the playoffs last year and just was kind of on a slower comeback. And you didn't really see too much of him in the first, I would say, 5 games. He was very quiet. And then things just went on the roll from there. So Miro Heiskanen has just been phenomenal as far as being able to execute and the amount of minutes. And we keep talking about this, that he is able to play alongside Esa Lindell as well. And he's just really holding down a lot when it comes to being able to defend for the Stars. And Miro Heiskanen how do you not give this guy top status as far as defensemen go right now with where he's at in the league?
He's in all the Norris conversations already. I know we're only a little over 30 games in, 32 games in, but he's in the conversations, and that's where he should be because he is one of the best defensemen in the world, defensive defensemen, and he also has this offensive power side where he's getting primary assists, he's getting sneaky goals. He's up to 7, and I think Cale Makar's only at 10. So, like, we're not too far off here, and we're talking about Cale Makar just running away with the North. It's not true. Miro Heiskanen right there. He plays better defense than Cale Makar most of the time. Like, we should have a defensive conversation because if it's a defensive defenseman, then like Jacob Slavin and Essa Lindell and all these other guys should be in the Norris conversation, which they never are because they don't score points, which seems silly because it's supposed to go to the best defenseman. But not my award, not my vote.
No, not at all. But, I will say Minnesota's just interesting. I thought that they've had a pretty decent offseason as far as just building. They're one of those teams that are slowly coming back into the mix. And when the Stars go on these road games and they're against divisional opponents, like you said, they looked pretty tired for the most part. You come in, you beat the Jets on a Tuesday night in a very close game where it was kind of back and forth a consistent amount of the game. And you go into that game against Minnesota and you can't win them all, as you said. And Minnesota, they're decent, but they are a beatable team. And it's interesting watching Kaprizov. He had 1 assist last night, but I thought that he would be a little bit more of a topic of conversation this year in the league. And I really have not seen a lot of production out of him, which is interesting.
Yeah. And it was the home opener, game 3 of the season, playing against Minnesota. And I was like, all right, I'm excited to see Kaprizov in person for the first time in a minute. First time post 17 million AAV contract. Like, let's see what happens. Did not notice him until the third period when they were down, I believe, 3-0 in that game at home. And then they got on the power play like 3 times in a row. And I was like, oh, he just needs an extra man on the ice to stand out against the Stars. I don't know. And it was against a defense that wasn't completely sure of itself yet in the new system and everything too. And then same thing last night. He's like, saw him, but didn't really notice him. I noticed he was out there, but I didn't notice what he was doing, which was interesting.
He's sneaky. He has 18 goals, 16 assists, 34 points right now. As far as the Wild, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely a little more quiet than what I would have expected this year.
Yeah, it's interesting. And the other thing I noticed last night, obviously, Bill Guerin is Team USA's general manager for the Olympics. Jason Robertson is reportedly on the bubble, and I don't know how the guy that's third in the league in scoring and first in points for USA players this year in the NHL is on the bubble. He mentioned that he's got a check, and then Goalie put it in his press conference. He's like, you probably just need to watch him a little bit more because he does everything. He plays defense, he chases pucks, he forechecks, he backchecks, he hits people now, and he also just scores goals at a crazy rate. Because like even if you just brought Robo to be on the fourth line and you just put him on a kind of a skilled line on the fourth line and then just had him on PP1, it's like you're probably going to score a lot of goals if you just did that with Robo. But the way he's playing, he's a second line guy, first line guy, depending on the Tkachuk brothers' health. Like I don't see how you go to Milan without Jason Robertson on Team USA.
Do you know specifically the date is when the teams are selected?
Yeah, Team USA is announcing their roster on December 31st.
Great. So Jason Robertson should hopefully be in the mix there. You would assume that he may be, like you said, on the bubble, but he should really be in the mix when it comes to Team USA. So hopefully he is on that team. And when you look at the rest of the month, as far as what the Stars have lined up, he's going to be scoring a lot more goals. So it's an impressive moment for him to be in that topic of conversation as far as being able to possibly represent Team USA in Milan. So, and I know that there's a lot of conversation too, if Milan's even going to happen right now, because it's 4 feet of circumference they're missing right now on the ice. So they're trying to rebuild that with the Olympic Committee right now to try to figure that out to get the hockey players over there.
And the arena is not going to be ready till February 2nd, and the first women's game is played on the 5th. That's 3 days. You have 72 hours of room for error. Like, what are we talking about, Milan? Get it together. What
are the Italians doing over there?
You've probably known about this for at least 8 years at this point, that you knew that you were going to be in Milan for the Olympics of all things. Like, shouldn't you have been building this for 8 years? Shouldn't you have just had it ready last year?
And like I said, it's quite literally 4 feet of circumference around the ice that they're missing to make it an even level rink.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't know. Did we do it in meters, not feet? Like, did we miss? How do we, I don't know.
They measure over there totally differently.
They do. And I still don't understand. And they do it in Celsius. Maybe the ice isn't going to be cold enough. I don't know. I've heard they play hockey in Milan. I think there's like 3 or 4 rinks over there already. So Can we just play in a small barn? It's like a beer league barn. I don't know. Be fun. What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly. Well, I think the one thing that we hadn't brought up, though, was Rope Hintz leaving the game. Yeah. His injury right there. So I'm sure that they will do their evaluations, see what is going on. It did not look too pretty, but it also didn't seem like it was as bad as previous injuries that he's had.
Yeah. So,
like in the games.
Right. Miro shoots the puck at the net. It hits Rope in the skate, in the boot, somewhere in the foot region. It was not the same foot that he broke last year when Darnell Nurse decided to slash his foot off and get vials of blood drawn out of it and then skate on a fractured foot and catch Connor McDavid in the playoffs. Still insane to me. I think about that once a week. I can't believe that Rope Hintz with a broken foot just caught Connor McDavid on a breakaway. Like, he's skating with him. He's not creating distance or anything. That was insane. But other foot doesn't put any pressure on it. Obviously, is down on the ice. There was icing, and he has to get kind of helped off the ice and goes right down the tunnel. There's like a minute left or 45 seconds left. It's not there's no point in keeping him out there on the bench and toughing that one out. Just go to the locker room, figure out what's up. We haven't gotten an update. We won't be getting an update today because there is no practice today. It's a day off for the Stars. So we'll get an update on Saturday morning at morning skate before the Panthers game. But yeah, at the end of the day, this team was just tired, and it caught up to them for once, because they've looked tired for about a week and a half at this point, and pretty much every single game. But they somehow kept pulling it out. But no points for the first time in a long time. So I don't really know how to feel. I don't feel bad though.
It's okay. It happens. The Stars need to sit down and refresh, and it is good that they do have a day off to do that, considering you have the Stanley Cup champions coming in on Saturday to play here at the American Airlines Center. So Stars could use a little bit of rest right now, but they've still been getting the job done for the most part. We take the win against the Jets. We like that, but it's okay. You get one loss against Minnesota. Momentum is still there.
Savannah, I have a question for you. So I'm looking at the standings right now in the NHL. If you had to guess what the worst team in the East is points-wise and what the worst team in the West is points-wise. You don't have to name the teams, but just points at this point in the season.
Are Flames pretty low on the list right now for the West?
They're second to last in the West, yeah. Okay. Vancouver would be last.
I was going to say it's the Flames or Vancouver. East, I've not checked the standings in quite some time.
It's Buffalo. Eastern. Buffalo's last in the East with 30 points. Okay. Coming into last night's game, the Minnesota Wild had 37. Like 3 games off, roughly 3.5 games off. The bottom of the West is 25 with Vancouver, 28 with Calgary, 28 with the Preds, 29 with St. Louis, 29 with Winnipeg, and 30 with the Kraken. So the 5th seed in the wild card right now, the Kraken, have the same amount of points as the last seed in the East. I did not see this one coming. I didn't think that the East was better than the West this year. Obviously, there's still a lot of hockey to be played, but the top of the West is so significantly better than everybody else. But the East as a whole, the top of the East is 40 points. The bottom of the East is 30 points. That's 5-game cushion. It's not a lot in comparison to what the West is, where Colorado has 51 points, and that's double what Vancouver has this year.
But I feel like that's just been almost the standard with the West. Like, you have your top teams in the Western Conference, and they're able to get it. Like, they are blowing out points all season long, and they lock in their spot way earlier on the East. the last 2 years, I've noticed it's been way more of a tight race than anything. Just being able to fluctuate with where wild card teams stand. Like last year, they were looking at, the Devils were going to be in there and just some other teams. And it's just very complex with the competition in the East. But at least the Stars, on the other hand, are one of those top contenders in the West. And they've been that way for quite some time. And it's that race really between the Avalanche, the Stars, and the Jets, and the Oilers, and Vegas. I'll throw Vegas in the mix there.
Yeah. Looking at the East standings, this is important for trade talk for later on when we start doing LTIR fake trades. The Canadiens, the Devils, the Rangers, the Leafs, the Panthers, and the Senators are all outside of the playoffs right now. That is 6 teams that made the playoffs last year that are not in the playoff picture right now. Montreal is tied with Pittsburgh in points, and so is the New Jersey, but they are both outside, I guess, the head-to-head records or whatever it is. That's insane because you have pretty much every single team down to the Senators, who are 8th in the wild card right now. And you can even count Columbus because they're 3 points out. And Buffalo's 5 points out. Buffalo stinks. Like, everyone is in the race in the East. So if you want to trade with someone with the East, you're going to have to overpay, or you're going to need a team to fall off a cliff in the next month, essentially before the Olympics.
That's crazy. That's a wild concept. We need to look at some teams in the East, maybe some player profiles once we start talking about potential trades. So we're going to do a deep dive into that.
We're going to have to wait till Olympic break to do this because everyone's so bunched together in the East. You can't trade anyone from the East because all of them are technically in contention. They're not going to want to trade any of their guys. It's crazy.
That is wild. That is very wild. Real quick little note, Joe Pavelski getting his honor for the Hockey Hall of Fame, and he's in there. And Joe Pavelski is well-deserved being in that room. I had a couple friends that were there. They actually were accepting an award on behalf of their dad. So Kyle and Chris Shiro, Ray Shiro, who was the previous GM of the Devils. He worked very heavily in hockey. He was actually consulting for the Minnesota Wild at the time that he had passed this last year. I believe it was in April or May. And his kids were there to accept an award for Ray Shiro on his honor. And I chatted with one of the kids just to talk about the whole Hall of Fame and what they were doing up there. And they were like, yeah, Joe Pavelski, he's just the best guy ever. And very well deserved him getting his big moment there, and USA Hockey honoring him as well.
Yeah, Captain America. It's a no-brainer. All-time player from America, like one of the best, and obviously one of the fan favorites with the Stars. Like, outside of Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin, is he the most favorite Star in the last 15 years since Modano left, really?
I would say so.
Outside of the 2 guys that have been there the longest. Like, Pavs was only there for, 5-6 years max? 5 years? Wasn't there?
I would say it would be Joe Pavelski. Just any time that he's there outside of just like coming to visit a game and they put him on the Jumbotron, the fans go nuts. They're like, Joe Pavelski's here to pump up the entire team. So
I guess he
everyone
was
loves Joe.
Father figure for like several players on this team with Logan
Wyatt
Stankoven,
Johnston, yes.
Wyatt Johnston, Maverick Bourque. I think he probably housed him for a few weeks. Like, he's just a dad on the team. You know, he housed everybody, and obviously Wyatt's becoming a fan favorite with the fans, and you know, he's just the son of Joe Pavelski at the end of the day. So it always goes back to Pavs.
It does. I wonder if he will ever get into coaching as part of his next steps in his life. That's a question that I do have, because he'd be a fantastic coach.
I think Luds and DLLS had talked about this earlier in the season when Joe came back and got that big ovation and everything at the beginning of the season. He was like, no, I don't think he coaches. I think he one day maybe a front office role of some sort, like the ambassador role that Joe Thornton's in with San Jose. But he was like, does he really want to live in San Jose or Dallas anymore? Like, he lives in Wisconsin. Like, he just likes hunting and fishing and playing golf. Like, that's what he wants to do right now. And he played hockey for his entire life until he's almost 40 years old, or was 40 years old at that time. Like, let him live for a little bit. And maybe one day he decides to come back. But it's also like, does San Jose want him, or does Dallas get him? I don't know where Joe's heart lies at the end of the day, because he was a beloved Star. I think he loved it here, had a great time, chased the cup and everything. Did the same thing with the Sharks, but he did it for longer. Was the captain there. I don't know which
A
one
lot of
is more
history in San Jose.
important to him, like what cap does he wear going into the hall? I know they don't wear caps like they do in baseball, but it's always a big point of contention is like, do you go no cap because you love both teams, like a no logo cap, just blank one, or do you go Stars? Do you go San Jose? I would assume it's San Jose, but that's only because he was there longer and was the captain.
Right. Well, Joe Pavelski, the man of mystery. We'll see what he does, but very cool to see him get honored in the way that he did. Very well deserved for Captain America right there.
Captain America. Love him dearly. Miss him dearly. You know who I don't have to miss is Mikko Rantanen. We got a bobblehead here. We're giving away a bobblehead. Mikko Rantanen bobblehead right here, sitting on my desk until we hit 250 subscribers on YouTube. We started that new channel at Clean Sheet of Ice. We're over 150 now, so less than 100 subscribers to go. Once we hit 250, we will give away that Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. We'll do the same thing that we've been doing. You have to subscribe, but you also have to comment on an episode where I give you the prompt during the episode. So you got to listen, got to pay attention. So hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell all your Texas hockey fans in your life to hit that subscribe button on YouTube and audio platforms. If you would rather listen to us in the car, on Apple, Spotify, wherever. We love you guys, and we just want to make sure that we're doing the right thing, giving back to our fans. So we got a Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. I already said once we hit 1,000 subs, I'll be giving away a jersey of the winner's choice. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully, and we got to do it this year, and it can happen during the playoffs. I don't mind, but would love to have that happen before the playoffs. But I will give away a jersey of your choice. So if you want a 99, you got a certain size, you got a certain player you need, ordered, got you, no big deal. So
that's big. 1,000. That's big time.
It's a big one.
All
so
right.
We're going to do a giveaway at every 250 subscribers. So 250, 500, 750, and then the big one is 1,000. And then after that, maybe we can do some regular like Friday giveaways. I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Let's go. Let's get the numbers up. We're going to hit that 250, and it's just going to keep going from there. It's going to be great.
Yeah. We've officially been on this channel for 28 days now, since our first episode that we published regularly on this channel. We've seen a lot of success, a lot of watch hours, a lot of views. So thank you, Stars fans, for tuning in and hitting that subscribe button and telling everybody about us. We really do appreciate it. So we just want to make sure that we're giving back to you with these giveaways. You're not going to win them all, just like the Stars didn't win them all last night. So just keep entering. You might win one day. It's just
or
the luck of the draw.
You could get a Mikko Rantanen bobblehead or a jersey. These are cool giveaways and cool things that you have ready for your Stars fans.
Yeah, it's going to be delightful. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Before we get out of here, tomorrow night, Saturday night, the Stars are back at home playing against the Panthers, Stanley Cup champs. The last time we played them was in Florida. Pretty much had no shot in that game, and all of a sudden Mikko Rantanen scores a goal. You go to overtime. You steal a point. You didn't really deserve it. Florida wasn't this version of Florida at that time. I think they were a little bit better, a little bit more healthy. They're not great right now, but they're still Florida at the end of the day. So what do you think about this game?
I'm looking at their stats right now. Obviously, Brad Marchand, just top of the top. He's sitting at the top in points with 16 goals, 15 assists. Best deal ever that Florida even has him on their roster. Sam Reinhart, he's in second with 28 points, 15 goals, 13 assists. And then there's a little bit of a jump from there. Carter Verhaeghe, 23 points, 9 goals, 14 assists. So I would say when you look at the Stars and what they're doing right now as far as production of the points, and you have top guys like Mikko Rantanen, Jason Robertson, Wyatt Johnston at the top of your numbers, and their points are just exponentially higher than a lot of these teams right now. The Stars are able to consecutively score goals from multiple different people on this team. I think when it comes to a lot of other teams that you're looking at right now, it's maybe just a handful of guys that are executing. The Stars are all across the board as far as their point production, goals, assists, and what they're doing. And you have the guys that you can rely on that you know are going to score. For specifically the Panthers, Brad Marchand is one of those guys that's going to be able to score. But there is a little bit of a drop-off that you've seen from probably some of the injuries that they're facing right now and just the things that they've been dealing with. So that's just one thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, the Stars have 10-plus points from 11 guys right now, and they have 5 guys over 25 points, which are close to point per game. Like you have a surging week from Rope and Miro, you've got 5 guys over a point per game, which is crazy.
That's
insane.
wild.
Yeah, and you got 2 guys already at 40-plus points. Like I said it preseason, my prediction with the empty netters was a little bit wrong. Our first episode with empty netters. Stay tuned for Monday. Special guests. Second part of the episode. Empty netters. They'll be back recording this afternoon. Not a big deal. But I predicted that Mikko and Robo would have 50 goals each, so 100 goals combined and over 200 points combined. I'm definitely going to hit that second one, I think, at this point. We're at 42 and 40, and we're not at 40. We're not at the halfway mark. Like they're over point per game guys. They're going to be 1.1, 1.2 guys for the whole season. They're going to be at 100+ points, and Robo might hit 50 goals. I'm not going to doubt that one at this point. 17 goals in 16 games for that guy. And then Mikko, the apple orchard. So I need someone to design that shirt for me. Just someone make a cartoon with Mikko with a bucket of apples and a tree, and just says Mikko's apple orchard.
Just chat GPT it. You're gonna get something.
I know. I need to make an account. I did it the other day, and they're like, you got to sign up to create images. And I was like, I think I'm good.
I'm gonna send you one.
All right. I think I'm good. You burned down their rainforest for me. But yeah, the Stars, they just score points. Florida doesn't really, but they play a style of hockey that the Stars have not played really well against over the last couple of years. Like when Edmonton is super physical and super fast against you, they don't play really well. Minnesota last night, we saw that when they play super fast and super physical against you, it's a little tougher. They have a really good defense and they have a great goaltender. So at the end of the day, it's not going to be a walk in the park. I know Florida's near the bottom of the standings right now. They're out of the wild card. They're fighting away injuries just like the Stars have been. Don't discredit them. They're still the back-to-back Stanley Cup champs, even without Barkov, even without Tkachuk. They're still really good, and they still play really physical. So I think my main thing is getting it into the zone cleanly and having offensive zone puck possession time. If you can do those two things, then you're probably going to score goals, and you're going to keep them out of their offensive zone. So that just makes it easy.
I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup considering the Stars were not able to beat the Panthers last year. And even when they went on their trip, the international trip to Finland, playing the Stanley Cup champions once again, but the big difference here obviously is now you have Glenn Gulletson, where he sees things differently. He's putting into perspective for all of these guys, different ways to score and actually get the puck in the back of the net. And so I think it's going to be Dallas against Bobrovsky. He's an outstanding goaltender for the Florida Panthers, and it's just going to be a matter of being able to get shots on the net. And hopefully with the zones and them being able to play the puck a little bit more freely, the Stars are going to get a little bit more goals when it comes to scoring on Bobrovsky, who I think is top of the top.
Right. And then stay out of the box. I think is it 33 or 34 penalty kills in a row now for the Stars? I think it's 34, but I could be completely wrong. I was listening to old Michael Dixon.
That's 10 games that they have not allowed a power play goal for an opponent, which is crazy. It's awesome. Very, very good. So hopefully the PK will keep on rolling with that against the Panthers.
Yeah, I think by the season end, you're going to have a top 3 PK and power play unit heading into the playoffs.
Let's go. I'm here for it.
Which we're pretty used to at this point. Like both of those things kind of just the PK, we can always count on it being top 3. It's been top 3 for the last 3 seasons and now into this season. You're getting there. I think you're at 7 or 8, I think, in the PK, but you started off really terribly. But now if you just kill every penalty, you'll be first at the end of the season. Just how numbers work, I guess. But the power play, I didn't see the power play being 1 or 2. I was like top 5 maybe. Like I hope it works out. And we've got the guys for it. We'll see if the system works. Goalie and Neil Graham have just transformed this power play. It's awesome. And
then Elaine Nazardine just already knows what he's doing on the PK. Expert, genius at the PK.
They just had to fix some things, at the beginning of the season. They get some kinks out, and now they're grooving just at a crazy rate, 33, 34 in a row. I can't remember what the number is. But yeah, Stars, Florida. I'm gonna go some 5-on-5 goals.
Ooh, I like that.
Some 5-on-5 goals, a power play goal. I'm gonna go 3-2. I think it's still gonna be dicey. It's gonna be gross because it's Florida, and it just is. And they're gonna have to bring some physicality, which they haven't had in about a week. I think there's just a little extra juice. They come back home after a week out. They played well in Winnipeg, decent, I guess, until the third period, and then Minnesota, they didn't play well. I think they're gonna take that to heart, and then they're gonna come back 3-2. That's what I'm taking.
Okay, I like it. I will actually go with the same thing, but I'm going to go with, don't hate me, we might see the Panthers take a win on this one.
I don't hate it. I love the Panthers. I know a lot of people hate them because they've won 2 in a row and they're like a new team or whatever, and all these new fans will bandwagon to Miami, whatever. I love the Panthers. I love the way they play. I love that they live in Florida, right outside of Miami, Sunrise. I love the Kachuk brothers. I don't care. I don't care what y'all think. I just love them. They're near and dear to my heart. I've been trying to trade for a Kachuk brother for 6 years at this point.
That'd be crazy. That'd be insane. Brady, that'd be great.
I was banging the Brady to Dallas drum last season, and then we got Mikko Rantanen, and I was like, all right, I don't really need a Kachuk guy anymore. I don't think we have room for a Kachuk guy. But before the Mikko trade, hammering the Kachuk. Like, I was trading everybody for Matthew, for Brady over the last I'm sorry. I can't help it. Love them dearly, but they're not on my team. They won't ever be on my team probably at this rate. So, and we're not even going to see a Kachuk brother this week. I also love Brad Marchand. I was banging that drum last year too.
He's so good. And that's where I think my difference is right now. I think he is just such a rock for the Florida Panthers. And you have some pretty decent guys that set him up for success. And I think that they could take a win at home at the AAC tomorrow.
As Kadri tweeted out after Game 7 last year against Colorado, never trade the dogs. Never trade the dogs. And that's Brad Marchand at the end of the day. He's just he might be a chihuahua, but at the end of the day, he's going to bite. And he's going to bite hard. And he's probably like my size, but his nose counts for like 3 inches. I don't know. I love Brad Marchand. He's a dog. I love him.
Will you be at morning skate tomorrow?
Don't think so. I like to sleep in on the weekends when I normally don't. So
it is also
I don't think I'll be
up in Frisco.
Oh, gross. Yeah, no. No thanks. Will not be there. Count me out. No thanks. Will not be in Frisco. But that'll do it for Clean Sheet of Ice. Like I said, we're giving away this Mikko Rantanen bobblehead at 250 subscribers on our YouTube channel at Clean Sheet of Ice. So thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And we'll be back on Monday with a new episode. It's going to be kind of a double episode. I know a lot of popular podcasts out there, they record the stuff about the games and the news and everything, and then they go into a guest. That's what we're doing. Empty Netters will be on Monday's episode, recording it with them this afternoon. Fake trades, jersey talk, robo extension talk. We got it all with the Empty Netters. We're going to talk about that this afternoon, but it'll be on Monday's episode at the end. So tune into that. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you to our sponsor, Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang over here. Zang responsibly all weekend long, especially against the Panthers on a Saturday night at AAC. Thanks for sponsoring. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And we'll be back very, very soon with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast.